Okay, so we're gonna start off right now, and we have a Lion Dance Kog'Maw, which is pretty awesome. Actually, who do you think wins the skin war?
I'm gonna
It's
have to go with
close.
I'm gonna have to go with Fnatic.
Yeah,
It's
they
not
have
close
more
because
skins.
it's Fnatic. It's not they have more. That's Soraka skin? They do have more skins, but not only that, they have Executioner Mundo. Even though it's not corporate Mundo, I throw axes over briefcases any day.
Yeah, and I like the way they have Lion Dance Kog'Maw, because that skin is just so annoying that it's awesome. So anyway, it doesn't look like either side is going for an invade right now, which is kind of strange. We actually expected M5 to go for an invade, but it seems like they're not willing
Yeah,
or able.
it's not maybe that they're not willing. It's just maybe they want to play a little bit more conservative in this part. I know it kind of sounds weird, M5 conservative, but Diamond Proc started with Cloth 5. So either he's going to try to counter jungle and catch Mundo out, or he's going to be more interested in covering his own jungle and then ganking from time to time. Because I know Diamond likes to start with boots most of the time. So seeing him start with Cloth kind of implements that he might try to do something a little bit more conservative this game. We can see that, Moscow 5 are sort of fanning out and trying to protect the little is there. Same with Fnatic. I'd definitely not expect Fnatic to try level 1 with their team.
Yeah, that'll be kind of silly. I mean, okay, let's see. There's actually no hard CC at all on their team at level 1. Unless you can't apprehend Darius, but that's like not too great for a level 1. So me is gonna be, or jungle camps are gonna be spawning in a few seconds, and then the junglers are gonna take off. So glove armor on both junglers. Both junglers not wanting to take too much damage in the jungle, and it looks like they're both gonna go for their red. We might see a level 2 gank on either or on both sides, and that'd be very interesting. Actually, wow, it looks like Darien is gonna be mid, and Alex Each is gonna be top.
That's huge. That's absolutely huge. Jax destroys Kassadin. Like, it's no contest. There's nothing Kassadin can really do against the Jax. Whereas TF is going to be able to sort of slightly kite this this Darius because of the fact that he has the gold card stuns and he's 6 move speed faster. It's not necessarily a counter to Darius, but Darius is not going to have an easy time in his top lane, especially now that you've added a stun.
And it looks like Cyanide will be able, or will be trying to help out Soaz here, and Soaz seems to be needing it. Well, he's not needing it right now, but I think he'll need it in a bit. So he's gonna probably wait for that card to go out, or for Alex Each to go for a ranged minion. And when he does, that's probably gonna be a gank.
Don't think this is a very smart gank because it relies a lot on that right there, that flash. But the exhaust.
They do pick it up. So Cyanide getting the first blood.
Exactly.
And,
it was. I think Alex waited way too long on his flash there. The second Soaz flash, Alex should have followed immediately because that would have left Cyanide without enough range to cleaver or exhaust, and then Soaz would pretty much have nothing to do.
Yeah, it was interesting to say the least, but that is going to be a first blood on the jungler, and pretty sure junglers really like the first bloods. I'm always unsure if it's better on the jungler or the top. The jungler does jungle faster if he gets a first blood, but top is one of the lanes that snowballs hardest. And though with the CS
exactly,
advantage,
but in this situation,
it'll be interesting.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
In this situation, it's very beneficial that Mundo gets that first blood because this is going to make him a lot stronger than Lee Sin, who still hasn't made a gank yet. Because Mundo's going to spend a lot of his money on HP pods. So the fact that he can maybe go back to base and pick up his Ninja Tabai and Ruby Crystal or Boots in a Heart of Gold really early, it's going to give him an advantage over Lee Sin. And Mundo's a lot harder than Lee Sin into the late game. So any small advantage that Cyanide can pick up in the early is going to significantly help his chances against Lee Sin if they ever meet in a 1v1.
Yeah, and it looks like he's going to be giving his blue to Pake, and that's going to be very helpful for Pake. Going to be able to spam those silences and possibly even CS with them if he wanted to. So that will really help him against the Jax. Make sure he can't leap strike, and generally make harassing him a bit easier. The range will help a lot.
He's not going to look to kill him. He's not going to look to try to kill him. Maybe poke him a little bit, make him a little bit scared. But he can't really get close to the minions without fear of taking a lot of damage. Though Darien is really low on HP, he should be a little bit more frightened. XPK, though, in any standard 1v1 terms, he's probably going to be a lot more concerned about getting that farm and not getting too shut down early game.
Yeah, and that blue. What I meant is that his blue will make him able to silence Darren all the time, which both means that he can't use his leap strike, and also means that he will be got whittled down in his health a bit. Which means that obviously he won't be able to go in as safely, because if he's low health, he might die for it, and that's probably not a risk he wants to take, especially not against a Kassadin. So right now everyone's just farming up, and no interesting items getting picked up as of yet.
So, check out bot lane. Diamond is going to sneak up. I mean, bot lane is quite pushed, but they're going to spot him on this ward. He might be able to land a Q. He does, but is not really going to do anything with that. Though, you know, there's no ignite on bot lane, which is kind of a little bit concerning, considering all those Soraka heals are just going to make it so difficult.
And there's going to be an engage in the middle. Xpeke going for Darien, getting it very low, but getting ignited and moving away. Cyanide did move in, but will not be going for it. Or is he? No, he will not be. That was a kind of a weird engage. It didn't look like Peke had enough damage anyway. He did ignite Darien. Maybe it came from a tower dive or something. But that was slightly strange.
6 though. Peke is 6.
Oh yeah, so he will be able to move in, but there comes the diamond procs, and it's kind of risky right now. He is going to go in for it though, and he will be able to pick up Darien, or at least Cyanide does it. Exhaust goes down on diamond procs. Diamond procs getting very low. Has to move out, and they are going to be engaging on him. Peke very low though, and he will pick up the kill, so that's it. That's 2 kills for Fnatic there. That's going to give them a pretty good advantage.
Beautiful play from Peke, making sure his movements were as abstract as possible. He wasn't really giving Diamond any particular chance to land his Q, because if he landed that one Q, he would die for sure. But it was a big misplay from Darien for not being way more careful than he should have. I mean, Mundo's exhaust came up at the perfect opportunity to slow down Diamond procs. Didn't even need it for Darien there. And again, XPK with his Kassadin is definitely something scary. It's just something else to see him play that champion.
So right now there's going to be some items finished already, or well, not finished, but there's going to be some earlier items, and it's going to be a needlessly large rod on Peke here, so he will be having a lot of damage this early, and it looks like he's looking for a gank down bottom. Gonna use his Rift Walk to get into the brush, and they do have a vision ward here, so they know where the ward is. And he might be able to either move around it, or they'll clear it before he comes.
I think he can Rift Walk directly, but they might see the
animation,
the effect, like the AOE effect, the animation exactly. They might be able to see it on the mini map or on the Fog of War. I'm not too sure, because I know you can see the Shaco's explosions, though I haven't really seen much Kassadin lately. But now that vision ward is gone, PK's just gonna run back mid. I think he feels he wasted a little bit too much time. But we always see SOAS coming on mid, and Darien with a flash still up, it might be, you know, if he's not careful.
Great apprehender, and they are going to go in for Darien. Darien gets ignited, but will not quite go down. He's able to flash away from there. And okay, we'll be farming up this mid farm, and that's probably why he went back. There was so much farm in mid, and Kassadin kind of needs to farm every little bit of farm he can get, because it is very hard to farm with him, because you're a melee, obviously.
Well, Peke picking up his needlessly large rod instantly. Most Kassadins usually pick up a Tear or a Catalyst, or, you know, I've actually seen people pick up a Chalice on Kassadin. Though he's also picked up a rank of his W early on for farm's sake, because you can activate it for basically no mana, and it'll increase his attack damage by adding a little bit of magic damage. Though I'm kind of concerned that his low mana pool is going to make it difficult for him to roam or to sustain himself in lane with that mana.
Yeah, he will be getting blues though, obviously, so that will help a lot, but you do have a very fair point there, and wow, Darren is going to be engaging upon him, but doesn't quite hit the counter-strike because of a great Rift Walk from Peke. It does mean he is right now. He only has 40 mana right now. He's regenerating slowly, but he's very low on mana. He's less than 100, and that means he can cast, let's see, only his W. And there
now he's
might
got no
be an
mana, he
engager.
can't follow up on this Mundo. Though I believe that blue buff will be spawning soon. He got it around 3 minutes, or, you know, 2 minutes. Yeah, there it is, the blue buff has spawned. So Peke is going to go back. PK Peke, it changes each time.
I'm pretty sure it's Peke.
I think it is Peke. But I've heard so many people say it different. I heard Chushe say Peke, people say PK. It doesn't really matter. He's going to come back with Doran's Ring. It's good for HP, good for some AP there. He's going to pick up that blue buff, and everything's going to be fine and dandy.
Sorry for that. Looks like Alex Sheets. He thought about it. Looked like he thought about it, but he didn't quite go for that. He just put a ward on. I thought it was going in. So there's going to be a blue buff pickup for Pekka right now, and Cyanide cleavering it over the wall. And Pekka will have to think it for a tiny bit, but he'll be just fine. And that's going to be a blue buff for him, that's going to really help him out. He's got a Doran's Ring, so he does have a tiny bit more mana regen. Actually, there's going to be a kill up top. Wow, sorry for missing that, guys. I didn't expect that. And Soaz does pick up a kill with his Slam Dunk. Both summoner spells on Alex each were used, and Flash was used by Soaz. So
apparently there's some lag issues going on.
And down bottom right now, they are going to be going for Lamia. Lamia getting very low. Pekka also killing Darien. Lots of action going on right now. Ghostly Pepper does get taken down thanks to Cyanide being able to slow him down a bit, and Lamia putting out quite a lot of damage. And wow.
Scumbag game. No action, suddenly lots of action.
Yeah, that was interesting. So right now,
I'm assuming
moving in mid.
So I'm assuming Pekka tried to engage on Darien.
There's going to be an apprehend on Diamond Crooks right now. Diamond Crooks getting some damage on him, not too much though. He's still bleeding though.
Q. No.
The blade does so much damage.
He's got Hex Drinker Dorans and a blue buff. Now he's going to spam that Decimate as he pleases on a lower cooldown. Cooldown reduction is actually an incredibly powerful stat on Darius. Excuse me. But what happened middle was Pekka tried to engage on Darien at low HP, but since he's Jax and OP, he managed to counter-strike and stun Pekka in order to get a couple of auto hits off in the quick second.
Yeah, and because of that passive, that's the
Pekka
thing that bugs me about Darius, is that his passive is so strong. It's not even his ultimate, but his passive does so much damage. And you could see him just bleeding out there, did a lot of damage. So right now there is a 1k advantage for Fnatic, not too much, and there's going to be a slight harass mid, it's not too much though. Almost looked like an engage. Cyanide actually has a Oracle's Elixir, and that's really good. You are a jungler, I think, right? So what's your opinion on the early Oracles?
Yeah. Early Oracles? I'm sorry, excuse me 1 second. My opinion in early Oracles is that if you can keep them, good job. I mean, the second you get an Oracles, there's like a big symbol on your head that says, kill me while I'm still squishy. I tend not to buy early Oracles on most champions. It's particularly useful on Mundo since your cleaver is a good thing to kite people who try to chase you, and your ult gives you a ridiculous amount of move speed. So Mundo is one of those safer champions to take Oracles on, and if he's able to win the map dominance portion, I mean, his lanes are already winning, so if he can get map dominance in his team, that's going to open up Dragon, and if Fnatic can now move their dominance to Dragon, as I said, this M5 Arctic Dragon, but like in general, if they're able to secure this Dragon,
they do pick it up. There's going to be an engage on Cyanide here. Cyanide has to turn on the Sadism to try to get away. Gets exhausted, gets pulled in as well, knock up as well. They're blowing everything on Cyanide right now. Felix getting very low as well. Cyanide's almost dead. Card does hit, but doesn't quite kill him. In the meantime, Soaz goes man mode and gets a double kill. Really well done there. Gets the stun card on him though. Will be going very low. Lamia getting focused right now. Is not going to go down. They're going to be going for Diamond Brooks. Diamond Brooks very low. And wow, are they going to be able to pick this up? Pekka is very and he will be moving away. And they will not be able to pick up Diamond Brooks, but they do pick up 2 kills. Still worth the Dragon for M5 though, so that was really well done. By M5 picking up the Dragon, also well done by Fnatic picking up those 2 kills.
It could have been a really good fight if someone from bot lane managed to have an Ignite on them. Because, you see, they were doing so much just to kill that Mundo. If they had an Ignite, it would have been so much more effective than Exhaust and being able to shut him down. In the end, though, yeah, that Dragon is worth it, but, you know, Darius got some kills there, and Darius is already very strong at the moment, and he's a very deceptively strong champion once snowballed, since his high base damage and high base stats allow him to build relatively tanky while still maintaining a high damage output.
Yes, indeed, and some people will argue he's overpowered. Do you agree with that? Because I'm not too sure myself.
Like Riot says, his best case scenario versus some champions is just way too out of hand. I do believe that he just needs to be toned down a little bit in order to be viable. He has weaknesses, but I mean, in lane those weaknesses are very negligible.
Yeah, that's what I feel like. His passive and his ultimate need a slight nerf, and other than that, I think he's fine because he's got no escape, so it is able. You are able to counter him.
It's that passive. I'm sorry.
And there's going to be engage right now. Darien and Pekka going for each other, and Pekka almost being able to take down Darien, but that ultimate did save him right there. The Grandmaster's Might giving him quite a bit of armor and magic resist there.
He also saw Diamond procs in the wings and thought it would be a little bit foolish to go in on that, since his HP is very low for very low, that Diamond procs can just QQ and ultimate to finish him off, in fact.
Yes, indeed.
His Q was on like a 2-second cooldown.
There's already an Aegis of the Legion on Soaz. Soaz really likes that Aegis of the Legion, and I don't think I've seen him not build it. And
it's just so
a really good item.
It's a brilliant item. It's so cost effective. It gives you virtually ridiculous tank stats, and it's amazing for your team. I mean, again, Darius, tanky, deals so much damage, base stats, just incredible. This magic resist he's already sitting at 156 magic resist and 2000 HP. He is, I would put him as tankier than Mundo. Even though Mundo has his HP regen, he is very, very tanky right now.
Yeah, and he will be happily farming up this top lane, while there is going to be a slight fight. These guys in mid, it boils down to Darien not doing too much damage and Peke not doing damage because Darien is tanky. It's slightly frustrating. I keep thinking that something's going to go down here. It looks like Sunlight will be moving up for a gank, and they might be able to catch off Darien here if Darien isn't careful. He doesn't know that Sunlight's here yet. He's not quite there yet. There is a ping on the tower, and he is going to go in right now. They are going to be going for Darien, but Darien is going to be using his counter-strike, and he will be going for Sunlight right now. The Destiny comes in, and they will be going for Sunlight. Sunlight going very low. And he is going to lose his oracles. There's going to be a stun guard and a flash from Alex each, and he is going to be picking up the X-Peke as well. And that was just really well played by M5 there. I'm not sure if Darien always intended to bait, but it really works out.
Alex finally showing what EF can actually do there. He managed to take out the oracles. Just his presence there won them that fight. The execution abilities of Diamond were able to take Mundo from low HP to 0 HP. Darien, being quite tanky, managed to survive the Kassadin burst. I mean, it was their switch that sort of didn't make it very well, because Darien was supposed to destroy mid lane, but the fact that they had Darien in mid lane to eat than a TF actually won them that mid game fight, which is hugely important. I mean, they're actually ahead in gold, but they're ahead by 300 gold. Where previously they were behind by about 1,000 gold. Not only that, but Cyanide is also down 400 gold from the Oracle, and they also lost the Dragon to the Moscow 5. So Fnatic were actually not that far ahead, maybe because of the Dragons and most likely the Dragon and good CSing in Moscow 5's part.
Yeah, and they did take 2 turrets right now. They lost one in the top, but I'd always trade 2 turrets in mid for 1 turret top, to be honest. Because mid towers are slightly better. Oh wow, the apprehend almost hits Darien up top, but didn't quite work out there. And Cyanide not picking up any oracles, so there is no ward clearing for now on Fnatic, and that did help them quite a bit, I think. M5 did do a very good job at rewarding every single time though, and that's helping them a lot, because otherwise they would have been ganked quite a bit more, I think. And wow, massive damage going down on Genja there. Lamia doing loads of damage with that BF sword and the 2 Doran's
would you agree that he deals tons of damage?
He doesn't have a Trinity 4, so I don't think he's legally allowed. And he's also not a jungler, so
screw the rules. I'm freak. I do as I please. No, he's got that BF sword. He's got that Vamp Scepter. Normally, I see Kog'Maws go for the Zeal Phantom Dancer with a couple of Doran's blades. So Lamia, yeah, he's building a classic Lamia. He loves to rush that Bloodthirster on his champions. We saw it on MF. We see it on his Corki a lot, and his Ashe usually goes for Infinity Edge, but on Kog'Maw, it appears to really like stacking AD before attack speed. Well, in turn, that's actually going to help his poke. His ultimate does scale fairly well off AD. He's got a bonus of maybe 80 AD and give him a 50 extra AD on his ultimate.
So they are going to be picking up the Dragon Fnatic is, and they're going to take it down very quickly. Will not be able to steal it on part of M5. They do take down top tower, and that's almost an equal trade tower for a Dragon. The tower does give map control, and that helps a lot as well. And it looks like Alex each might be going for another tower. And if he does take that down, then it was definitely worth it for M5.
I'm gonna tell you exactly why this is worth it, because now that that top turret is down, they're gonna have to defend that top a lot more often than be able to be in that dragon pit. And Alex is just gonna be able to sit top and do as he just did, and just ult away when people are missing. On mid lane, Darian just almost dropped there to the combined efforts of XPK and
Oh wow, he
SOS.
does go down.
Oh, he actually does die! That hemorrhage,
Yeah,
I'm
the
telling
blade
you,
of
needs
Darius is
nerf
just
it.
ridiculous, and they are going to be going for diamond procs here. He's getting very low, and there's going to be a flash. Great kick there.
Beautiful kick.
And there is going to be a rift walk. He will be going in very closely, but the exhaust saves him, and there comes Alexich, and he is able to pick up 1 kill, possibly 2 if he hits his guards. And it looks
Can
like
someone
he will.
explain
Yes. So
why
that's a double kill.
why is Diamond and Darian like the masters of baiting? I was very careful not to say master baiters, but
You just said it anyway.
that was just brilliant. Okay, I said it regardless because that's people are gonna give me flack in chat, and I honestly don't care. That was beautiful. XPK came in with he knew that his flash was down. I think it was a little bit of reckless play that Diamond was able to take the opportunity and just seize the moment. XPK came in, cooldowns down, immediately got exhausted, and then turned onto him. Before the Darius got in range to apprehend, he safeguarded to the nearest person, which was Alex, just outside of range. Literally half a second later, he would have been apprehended and subsequently killed by that Darius. So very good timing. I would have to say a lot of luck involved in that, but just beautiful play regardless.
Yeah, that was really well done. I think the exhaust there was the reason they were able to pull that off, because if he wouldn't have been exhausted, Peke, he would have been able to pick up that kill, and he would have probably even be able to rift walk away, or at least Silas would have been able to walk away, because they wouldn't have to go in that far. That was just a clutch exhaust there, and Baron Pink's going down. Not sure if Fnatic actually wants to go for this, or that they're scared that M5 is doing it, because M5 was completely missing. Yeah, it looks like they were just scared that M5 was doing it. M5 does do that crazy stuff. Like a Baron at 22 minutes. So, right now there is... Okay, so let's look at items. There's not a lot.
Bot lane.
Wow, oh, okay, I missed that. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, TF ulted from red buff, from where the red buff was standing, and just ganked bot. With the Blitzcrank pull and the combined efforts, they managed to burst down the squishy Soraka. She wasn't really even able to use her heal or her ult in that. She was CC for way too long.
That was a lot of bursts coming down there. Sorry for missing that one, guys. So there's going to be an engage on Diamond Procs right here, but I think that was a kick from him, and Peke getting very low is going to go down. Great play there from Alexich and Ghost Pepper. Oh, God, was Super Pepper almost hitting the pool. In the meantime, though, Soas does go down versus Darian, and down bottom, Lamia gets taken down by Ganja. So M5 is actually going to go for the Baron right now. They do have Jax and Twisted Fate, so they will be able to do that very quickly. They're supering at massive amounts of DPS, and between Ghost Pepper, Diamond Procs, and Darian, they will be able to tank this fairly easily. Ooh, Pooh almost hits Cyanide, and that'd be pretty hilarious. So they are going to be picking up this Baron most likely. Ghost Pepper wants to go in here, gets the neck up, and they will be going for Cyanide. He is getting stunned quite a bit, but until now he does survive, and he does go down in the end.
You don't
Throws an axe, just to be sure.
You just don't let Cyanide get near your Baron. He's got ridiculous smite stealing skills, and they thought it would be a lot less of a risk to just put most of their damage and effort into taking out Cyanide, an incredibly tanky Cyanide, if I may add, rather than focus all their attention on Baron. Cyanide has some very good Baron control. We've seen him do it so many times where he steals the Baron, and Moscow 5 just didn't want to take that risk.
Yeah, and he is... The thing is, he's not actually higher level than Diamond Procs, so in theory, Diamond Procs should be able to easily outsmart him. He's 2 levels ahead, but they just didn't want to risk it, it looks like. So there's a lot of people asking in chat if I'm Dutch. Yes, I am Dutch, and Broken Shard is from Israel. Just if you guys were wondering.
No, I'm not American!
So looks like Fnatic will be pushing down bottom, and M5 is moving down. Fnatic has excellent ward coverage though. Every entrance to that bottom jungle is warded, so they will see this coming and will be retreating, except for Soas. Soas just chilling out, but you know, he's Darius, so he's fine. Just casually walks away. So right now everyone's grouping around mid, or bot, I should say. Usually you see people walking around mid, so that's why I said mid. And a great apprehend. Are going to be going for Diamond Fox. Diamond Fox getting very low, and great pull. Lamia getting very low. Lamia is going to go down. That was a huge pull, and so is going in, getting very low. Exhaust does stop him from doing a lot of damage. And wow, that
was a really nice pull.
Amazing.
A lot of people were giving Pepper some flack earlier in the game when he was missing his pulls in lane. But I bet right now in chat he's like, "Привет, comrades! I did it! Vodka all around!" Or something along those lines. It was actually a very well done pull. It didn't really seem like much, but he was able to time the creep's movements with that pull. There's actually a very famous Blitzcrank player who played for Moscow 5. If people don't remember, an XL winner was playing for Moscow 5. And he actually took some advice from him, Gosu Pepper did. And that's why we see him playing a lot of Scrank. He really favors that nowadays.
Yeah, that was just great. That was a huge pull, and they will be going for Dragon right now. It's not like as much of a big deal. Well, it's not very late in the game, but it's less of a big deal than earlier. But it's still a nice amount of money, and they'll be probably be regrouping and buying. They've got quite a bit of gold spread around the team, from 1k to 2k on their team. But okay, so Baron buff is 2/3 down. So they should either regroup really quickly and use the last bit of it, or they're just
probably
going to
just
chill
gonna
out.
go back and buy. They're sitting on quite a lot of gold. Just in the downtime, I'm going to answer some questions that I kind of see popping up on chat. That's not a problem. Shushay is now kicked from Fnatic. Soaz was originally a sub while they were finding a player, but has been confirmed as their new member. He is the new top laner. Phalox is as the 6th member of Fnatic. He's taken over by Melistan as inactive in school. No, Shushay is definitely kicked from Fnatic. He's looking for a new team. This is one of the final games. It's in the grand final. This is the winner of this best of 3, this is the first game, will go on to face CLG EU for the final. Moscow 5 are currently in the lead. 2 kills and about 7,000.
Yeah, they are 7k gold ahead. They are also three towers ahead, which is a pretty big deal. They've got the entire bottom half of the map detowered, which means that there will not be, if they push it out, there will not be creeps from Fnatic providing visions, nor will there be towers providing vision, and that actually helps quite a lot with map control, as well as the fact they can freely move through those lanes, and that means that that they will be able to invade fairly easily. They will be going for this top tower right now, and if they take that down, they have all the inner turrets down, only the inhibitor towers,
double
and the
ward,
Nexus towers being there.
Double ward. Double ward, strong. As well as the fact that Darian has 2 giant spells. Double Warmog
cool.
Incoming. I think he's expecting the game to end in the next... Yeah, it would be pretty cool, but I think his reasoning behind that would probably be the game is ending fairly shortly. They're ahead, loads of gold. Their late game is actually quite menacing if they continue to play the way they are playing. And he feels that getting that second giant belt is a lot more effective than having to save for the Warmog and possibly not even be able to stack it.
Yeah, and there are 2 Trinity Forces on the side of M5, so they will be doing tons of damage in those team fights right now. And there's actually a Zeke's Herald, and I really like that because actually everyone in the team benefits from attack speed. So that's a really good pickup by Gosu Pepper. Even Twisted Fate, who is the AP carry, still benefits from the attack speed for his stacked cards, and just generally attack speed helps him.
Yeah, and the Lich Bane added portion, like the yellow effect that you see on his auto hits, will benefit from the lifesteal. So with Lich Bane acted, his auto attacks will be doing he'll be doing about 500 physical damage. So he'll be able to lifesteal off that to the Zeeks. So it slightly helps him. It's nothing really big though.
Yeah, it's just that I like the fact that it helps everyone in this team and not just the AD carry. Because Jax obviously also benefits from the lifesteal and the attack speed, especially the attack speed. Jax is ridiculous with attack speed, and it's pretty good on Lee Sin as well. So that's a really good pickup there. And I hadn't actually figured that out yet that he was going to do that. I was assuming he'd just go for Shirelias like most supports do, but that's a really smart pickup. And on the other side,
Russia, Shirelias goes for you.
Exactly.
No, I believe that actually M5 has quite a lot of mobility. TF being able to just jump around, Genja with his Valkyrie, Diamond is just playing the mobile champion, and Jax with the bump. the jump that Blitzcrank also with his move speed. They have quite a bit of mobility. I think that what their concern is just being able to keep everybody buffed and strong in team fights. So having that Zeke's Herald, in my opinion, seems like a much smarter choice than a short burst of move speed. Because a lot of that engage is just going to be with that Blitzcrank pull. So it's a hit or miss situation. He just needs to be the one going up front, not his entire team.
So, this is very interesting. Looks like Pekka went for Rabadons before a Rod of Ages, which you usually see on Cassadins, and that's very interesting. Apparently he wants to do as much raw damage as he can, which they probably need against M5. Thing is, who is he gonna go for? He's gonna go for the AD carry, obviously, but there's so much stankiness on M5 that even if he does blow up Genja, he will still have to like protect his Kog'Maw because Kog'Maw will be the only one doing damage to M5. He does have the auto attack with his Bioarcane Barrage, which will make him able to do percentage damage based on the maximum HP of his enemies, which will be Darien and Diamond Procs mostly, who have a lot of HP. So if they protect Lamia, they still have a chance. Lamia has been pulling off the Quadra and Pentakills the past week or two, so we might see something really crazy if Fnatic is able to protect him. And I don't know, I wouldn't mind Fnatic winning. It'd be pretty cool to see them come back from this, though it will be very hard because they are about 8
I wouldn't mind. It'll tickle my interest slightly. No.
Yeah, it'd be cool.
Lamia picked that Bloodthirster. His actual potential damage output got dropped a lot. He was really expecting to take the damage in the team fight, so I mean, for a champion like Kog'Maw, you tend to be in the back, not really like Vayne or maybe Graves, who are short ranged, who are expected to take damage. I believe that Kog'Maw should be played a lot like Ashe. You sit in the back, so you use your Edict height, your long range to keep you safe from anybody else who tries you. That the Infinity Edge just becomes such a much more viable item. I mean, now Corki's got his Infinity Edge and Triforce. His burst and sustain damage is very high. On the side note, Lamia's got only some sustained damage, quite good poke. He needs to be able to pick up that Infinity Edge quickly, and also on the same thought, he needs to also have a Last Whisper. So unless Fnatic can hold on until he gets those items, I really don't see how they're going to have the necessary damage in order to win team fights.
Yeah, I think that the way Fnatic needs to get a new team fight is Lamia standing on the other side of the wall and being able to do some free damage. I think that's pretty much the only chance they have. It'd be very cool if they pulled it off though, because I like comebacks, but it'll be interesting to see what happens. And you actually saw, I think it was COG EU yesterday, they had like 7 Negatron cloaks, and that was also because of the Kog'Maw, because Kog'Maw is just such a beast and he can really turn around games. And there's going to be an upper hand on Darien here right now. He's going to use his Counter-Strike, and wow, Soz gets pulled in and he will be going down very shortly. Actually, he flashes away and survives right now. Wow. Okay, so no deaths.
Wow.
That
pull. He pulled him in the middle of the Diamond Procs kick. Just wow. What a good pull that was.
So Destiny does get used, and there will be a teleport opportunity for Alex Each, but it doesn't look like he's going to go for it. He's going to go and push mid tower. He's going to have Genja with him, and they will be doing massive damage to this tower. They will be taking it down very quickly, especially because of the Lich Bane, and they do take it down already. Going for the inhibitor right now. They have to run a tiny bit because of the Cyanide and Peke being there, but they flash and Valkyrie over the wall, and will be just fine. Alex Each taking some CS while he walks away. Very classy there. And they do
cool
take down an inhibitor tower, and that's very good.
Cool guys don't look at explosions, my friend. Just walk away acting cool. Diamond Prox is going to go for that mallet now. That's actually a very smart choice. It's going to give them the tank line that they really need. The tank line is huge for Moscow 5 at the moment. Darien is sitting on almost 3,600 HP. Once he completes that Warmogs, he's going to have another giant spell for maybe a Rylai Scepter is not actually a bad item on Jax. It gives him a slow on all his spells. It was really popular pre-change, but I haven't really seen any Jax build Rylais in a long time. On a side note, Blitzcrank just upgraded his boots. He's got a Ruby Crystal that's definitely going to be a Shurelia's Reverie coming soon. Kog'Maw will go straight for the Infinity Edge. Yeah, and I said that he will need a Last Whisper. I didn't really have a time to check on the items. The only person with a lot of armor on Team Moscow 5 is Lee Sin, who's sitting at 150 armor, 180 when he activates his Iron Will. Darien can also get quite a bit of armor, but that's only when his ultimate is activated. But it's still not really noticeable, especially since Kog'Maw does a mix of physical and magical damage. So
Yeah,
even when Kog'Maw doesn't have a Last Whisper, I'm sorry, you can just jump in. What do you want to say?
I want to say that on Darien and Diamond Prox, they have so much HP that he will be wanting to use mostly his magic damage anyway, because that does scale with their maximum HP. So it's going to be mostly magic damage against them anyway. So he doesn't really mind their armor, I think. So yeah, Last Whisper doesn't seem very required at the moment. Might
Of course,
change
later.
a bit though.
Always nice to have. You know, currently it's not exactly the most important thing that he wants. And Alex is kind of like draw them away.
There is going to be a fight now. Well,
Oh,
great
wow.
every hand on Genja. Genja goes down immediately. Soa's getting very low though, is going to go down. And I'm not sure if he actually used the Slam Dunk. He did use the Slam Dunk. But Peke has to Rift Walk out of there, and there's going to be an engage on Cyanide here by Diamond Prox, but great Voidus is going to save Cyanide, and Peke moving down in the back, doing some damage, then running away, and there might be a Blitzcrank pool. No, there won't be a Blitzcrank pool. So that's a 1-for-1, so as for Genja. And I think Genja's a tiny bit more valuable because he is the AD carry and is the main damage dealer. So that's really good for Fnatic at the moment. Though, you know, losing Soas does mean that they have one less tank, which is not the best thing.
Absolutely. I mean, Genja's positioning was actually quite poor in that team fight. He sort of walked right up in order to have, you know, him getting apprehended by Darius. I mean, even if he didn't use that ult, the damage that Lamia was doing from over the wall was actually very good positioning Lamia in that team fight, but it was just approached very, very badly by both teams. They weren't really prepared for one big team fight. Alex was sort of approaching from the side, Peke was approaching from the side. They weren't really able to commit after that, because after Genja died, it's pretty much a one-team fight, considering that he's a huge influence on their damage output. He is their AD carry. He has a Triforce and Infinity Edge. He does all damage. But I guess Fnatic were just a little bit too scared. I mean, they are 10,000 gold behind. I wouldn't be surprised.
That was really funny. Gosu Pepper having some trouble clearing the Baron wards because he does have his ultimate, which randomly procs and attacks the Baron, makes him aggro. That's kind of funny. Lamia using his ultimate to check on Baron. That's a really good idea, and they will be looking for a fight here. They want to go for Alex each, and it's going to be interesting to see if they are able to. Alex each charging up that stun card. Peke not going in without thinking down. Here comes Genja
really
going for it. Great Q from Diamond Prox. Is going to be able to hit Fnatic, or is going to be able to hit Peke. Peke will be moving away though. And right now, oh wow. Ooh, the pool almost hits. Great Rift Walk there. Really well done. And Cyanide popping his ultimate because he was getting pretty low. Darien might be getting some damage on him, not too much though, because Peke doesn't do too much damage against him. He does have 114 magic.
He does do the damage. He does the damage. It's just that he's got so much health that it really dents him. He's sitting on 4,000 HP, and the ultimate will give him so many resistances that he can afford to stack this HP. But this Baron is going down really fast. Oh god, Soa just dropped so quickly.
Don't know what exactly he was doing there. Don't know if that was the best idea there. And M5 definitely has an advantage now. They are 5 versus 4 right now. And Soas was actually quite a bit of a damage dealer there. Also a very tanky person, so they really wanted him. And they will be going for Cyanide. It looks like Fagebrook does get there, and it's going to be a stun. Cyanide going very low. Ignite goes down, and does go down to Alex each. And that's going to be a 5 versus 3, and I don't think that Fnatic will be able to defend this inhibitor. They definitely won't be able to. And ooh, the pool almost hitting, not quite though, and looks like M5 will be turning around, going for the Baron. Really good call there, taking down the inhibitor, making sure the lanes push while they are sure they can get it, and then going for the Baron, not risking anything. Their lanes were pushing towards M5, so they wouldn't be able to easily take down the Surge without tanking them. So they are going to be picking up this Baron right now.
I still think that Fnatic can win this if they just play their strengths right. Their strengths involve having quite a solid tank line. The Soraka in order to pull, the Soraka in order to heal and make someone ridiculously tanky. It doesn't matter who they are.
Oh wow, great
XPK.
down on Peke. Peke, oh, this guard just about kills him.
That
was
DFG
really close.
did so much damage. I'm sorry that I wasn't able to let C-Zone cast that, but that was just great play from Alex. Knowing the champion, knowing how much damage he can deal, that was literally down to the last normal auto hit. Even without Lichbane, he was able to pick up that kill. But Fnatic's strengths are, they have a strong tank line. They have the ability to protect the Kog'Maw, but the only issue is that their tanks, Soaz and Cyanide, are just dying too quickly. That Lamia is feeling way too pressured. Instead of auto-hitting like a Kog'Maw should do, he's running away. But now he's got his Infinity Edge. I'm gonna hope to see that he's going to be really shredding people apart. Though TF now has his GA really strong. Moscow 5 are just, you know, for a TF, he's very tanky.
He's actually got full build right now, which is pretty ridiculous at this point. He's got 370 CS, and that's just insane. Really well farmed there from Alex Each. He does have the highest farm in the game by quite a bit. So that explains that he's so far ahead. And wow, double Warmogs on Darien. That's just not nice anymore. He's got 102 magic resist that will go up with his ultimate, so he will not get the full-on damage from Lamia. Lamia will be doing loads of damage to him though, if you just look at the flat damage.
He hasn't even fully stacked first Warmog, and he's sitting on 4,700 HP.
Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous. If he fully
stacks them both, he can achieve over 5,000 HP, over 9,000. Sorry, over 5,000 HP, and it's just going to make him way too difficult to deal with. I mean, even a fully fed Kog'Maw is going to have a hard time taking out Darien with his ultimate giving him 73 armor and 60 magic resist. It's going to essentially give him the resistances he's missing, but it's going to compensate for the fact that he's got 5,000 HP.
Yeah, it's going to be very hard for Fnatic to take down Darien. I just realized, by the way, that Cyanide's cleaver or axe or whatever does 25% of the current HP of the person it hits. So that means he's going to be doing a lot of damage to Darien, but there is obviously the magic resist, so it will be reduced, unfortunately.
Of course, he's not really running magic.
Great pull, Soaz does get in there quite quickly, does go down very low, but will not go down quite yet. Lamia is able to do that damage, which he wants to do. Cyanide getting very low. Is going to go down just about, and wow, great pull. Becky flashes away, but doesn't quite get away. Great kill there for
Pepper is just on fire.
Yeah,
there was a little bit of miscommunication because the second... sorry, you finish it and I'll comment.
Yeah, great pull from Ghostly Pepper 2 times in a row, and it looks like this will be game. They're gonna go for the bottom inhibitor, or they're just gonna wait for the super group to tank their towers, and they will be going for the Nexus towers right now. They are 5 versus 3, so they can easily win the fight if it comes up, but they push so quickly because of Alex Each being the TF with a Lichbane, and he just melts
Ghostly
towers.
Pepper derping a pull there, but there was a little bit of miscommunication early in the team fight, where Diamond kicked Soaz out the second he was pulled in. So I guess it was a sort of sloppy entrance, but as Fnatic realized that their strength was coming, they kind of went a little reckless and dove a little bit too far in. Immediately after Soaz dropping, not Soaz. Immediately after they were able to drop someone, they managed to pull in Peke, and after that, just the amount of CC was able to pick him off. It's a really good team fight for Moscow 5 as the team fight sort of developed. Gonna have to give the MVP this game has to go to Diamond. I mean, Diamond really did some things that turned the game around in their favor. That gank mid with TF arriving, that bait in mid where they were able to stop the push from Fnatic. It was just great play and a great use of the Lee Sin mobility.
Yeah, but I'm a support player, so I'm gonna give MVP to Ghostly Pepper personally, because he is a support player and he had some great pulls there. That was just... He didn't do as well with his pulls in the early game, like in the lane, but in the team fight it was ridiculous, those pulls of him. They just practically won them team fights, and he did really well. But it was well played by everyone in M5. Peke was able, or not Peke, sorry, Alex Each was able to get an item cap when no one else had it, and that's just ridiculous. So great play by both teams. It was a very close match in the end, and the next game will be coming up shortly. We will have to run a quick ad break, so we will be back to you in a minute and a half.